Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'll be your MC this morning. Good morning, Talia. Good morning. Talia comes from what island? Molokai. Okay, welcome. And welcome to Makawao Honganji's Dharma Family Service. Oh, we have any other new friends? Okay. Right, please stand if you're able, and let us begin the service by singing Vandana Tisarana together both in Pali and English. Thank you. Please be seated. We'll now sing the Gauta Gosha with Amita, which will be shown on the screens. And this will be followed by a quiet meditation. Everyone is welcome to offer incense as an expression of gratitude for the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Mahalo. Thank you very much, and let us all recite the golden chain of love together. Let us begin.
I am a link in the meat of Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world.
I must
Keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and to all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to think pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also
that of others. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida. Okay, we'll be singing Buddha Loves You. Okay, please rise.
Hopefully you remember the words by now.
Okay, ready?
please rise.
It'll be easier the next
Okay, you
time.
may sit. Talia, that was just for you. Okay? All right. Okay.
Well, quite seriously, that was the only gatha that I liked as a kid. All the other ones are kind of like, but at least this one you could have something to do. And I always thought the fish thing at the end was kind of cute. So anyway, and now it's children's Dharma story time. Where are we? Well, today's story is
Huge Helped by Andrea L. Rogers and illustrated by Rebecca Lee Coombs. Chooch Helped by Andrea L. Rogers, illustrated by Rebecca Lee Kuntz. This is the baby. We call him Chooch. The word for boy or son in Cherokee is Achuja. The word for girl is Agehuja, but everyone just calls me Sissy. Chooch isn't really a baby anymore. We just celebrated his 2nd birthday. Still, whenever Chooch makes a mess, everyone says he's just oosty. Let him help. It seems to me that Oosty Chooch gets away with everything. LSE painted a mural. Chooch helped. Edoda tuned up the bicycles. Chooch helped. Betsy sewed pucker toe moccasins. Chooch helped. Edudu played guitar, and Chooch helped. Eduji made grape dumplings, and Chooch helped. Ojinali gigged crawdads, and Chooch helped. Eloji planted a garden. Chooch helped. I tried to make a clay pot. Chooch helped. Lazy, I shouted. Chooch cried. My parents yelled, shouting is no help. I went to my room. I cried. Chooch helped. My parents called us into the dining room. We're sorry we yelled, and they hugged me. We want to show you something. You know, when you were Ootsti, you used to help too. Chooch learns by watching. You're one of his most important teachers. I am? I wondered. Chooch, I said, want to learn how to make a pot? I gave Chooch a ball of clay. He rolled and poked and mushed and pushed. Finally, he had a pot. He wanted to put it in the window to dry. I helped. The end. And in the author's note, the author explains about Cherokee culture and the book, how the book introduces many aspects of Cherokee culture, even though they live modern lifestyles. And in the artist's note, the artist explains how she used Cherokee iconography, and traditional symbols and motifs. The book also has instructions for how to make a pinch pot, as well as a glossary and pronunciation guide for the many Cherokee words introduced in the book. And the book is dedicated for Jean and Loretta Rogers and my siblings, Jesse and Angel, the Chooch Originals, and my kids, always. And that's from ALR. And for my 3 daughters, who are my creative inspiration, and that's from RLK.
And that was the story. Oops. Okay. And that was the story Chooch Helped by Andrea L. Rogers and illustrated by Rebecca Lee Kuntz. Hey, wasn't that a great story? Hey, Auntie Allison, what part did you like? Really? I love that part too. I loved how Chooch just did his own thing, you know? He's trying to help. Chooch is trying to help, but he always just makes a big mess because he's just oozedy, which is Cherokee word for keiki, pup, kid. Oops, lost the connection again since not your day, is it? Okay. Let's see. Try that. Let's see if that works. It's not working. Okay, so what was it? Oh, that's right. That's it because Chooch gets to do anything because he's just a little kid. And then Lucy was going to say, what was Lucy going to say? Well, you know, I always say something that's very sweet and nice. And oh, that's right. I liked how they all apologized for yelling at each other because they know yelling doesn't work, but sometimes you start yelling anyway. And it all ended with a big group hug. And so, Doc, what did you think? Not Mommy Davidson. Yes, that's right. Everything's not Mommy Davidson. That sure makes it easy, doesn't it, Sensei? It sure does. Okay. And I'm faded because I can't see my notes. This is bad. If this is not working. I could do it from behind the screen, I guess. But then we lose the slides. That's the problem. Let's see if this one works. Okay, so remember, kids, be good, but not too much. So today I'm just going to talk about Buddhism and happiness, and the path of kindness and gratitude. If the technology will work. There we go. Oops. It's jumping. Let's begin with a quotation from His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet. Everyone seeks happiness and joyfulness, but we seek it from the outside. Most people never pay attention to the ultimate source of a happy life, which is inside. Okay. Okay, well that's not working. Hang on. Okay, well hopefully it'll print out. Let's see, there's always Can you hear if the printer's printing anything out? That's good. Okay. So if you do a lot of presentations, if you don't print it out, this is what happens. If you print it out, you get big stacks of paper and the technology works. Okay, we'll start from the beginning. So most people are, everyone seeks happiness and joyfulness, but we seek it from the outside. From money, from power, from a big car, from a big house. Most people never pay attention to the ultimate source of a happy life, which is inside, not outside. The ultimate source of happiness is not money and power, but warm-heartedness. The wisdom of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet. I think everyone would agree that the Dalai Lama is about as enlightened as a person as we're going to encounter in our lifetimes. And he really does see with the eyes of wisdom, and he shares the truth of the Dharma of Buddhism in a very clear and easy to understand way, from the heart of compassion. So as human beings, we naturally seek to be happy and experience joy. But born into this modern world, we're conditioned by everything we see and hear in the media to believe that happiness and joy are measured by wealth, material possessions, or fame, celebrity. So everything we see and hear in the modern world conditions us to measure and judge our happiness relative to other people or to this other ideal. Right? So to be happy, we have to have more money, more power, bigger cars, bigger houses than other people. But reality as it is, right, none of these things bring lasting happiness and joy. Born human, we always want more. So the human condition is that we always want more than we have. So this is tanha, the insatiable thirst, uncontrollable cravings for more, more, more. And then the winds of impermanence blow, and we're forced to face reality as it is. So our wealth, our material possessions, our success, our celebrity, all of these things which we focus so much time and energy on during our life, at the end of life, it makes no difference at all. It's the great equalizer. And so, the Dalai Lama teaches the ultimate source of happiness is not money and power, but warm-heartedness. So what does that mean? So the Buddhist technical term for warm-heartedness would be metta, which is often translated into English as loving kindness, wishing all beings be happy and well, that no harm or difficulties come to them. We recite this every Sunday for this reason. It's to remind ourselves that there's the Buddhist path of kindness, which is about shifting away from a self-centered view of the world to an other-centered view of the world. So the local Hawaiian ideal would be aloha. It's a warm-heartedness to everyone you meet. It's a deep sense of our interconnectedness, our interdependence, and our shared responsibility to share what we have, to share the bounty of the Aina, to help each other. So the Buddhist perspective is that we're born with the heart of compassion for all life. But over time, when we become an adult, we become conditioned to be self-centered, to prioritize my needs, our needs, right, over that of others. And we're taught that success is measured in terms of wealth and possessions, fame and celebrity. So we're taught that to always want more, fanning the desires, the flames of desire. Right, which again, the Buddha taught causes suffering in human existence. But this is what drives the consumption economy. This is what drives the capitalist economy. The whole system is based on the truth that humans always want more. So they buy more. So the more that corporations entice people to want more, the more profit they make. And the more mega billionaires, so these are the investors, the executives, the capitalists, they keep getting richer and richer. Well, ordinary people, even if you're doing okay, you feel like you're falling behind faster and faster and faster, that it's hopeless. Now, if you're poor, if you're disadvantaged, if you're discriminated, you find yourselves the target of political and cultural blame. Mimi, can you change the next slide, please? Okay. If we live selfishly and self-centered, if we live without caring and kindness, we will lose our humanity. This is the wisdom of Reverend Patty Ushta and Reverend Bob Ushta, which you can find in their book, Dharma is Everywhere. It's on page 218. So I think many of you know Reverend Patty and Reverend Bob Ushta. They're retired now from the Sacramento Wesleyan. But once again, they've come back as chaplains of the California State Assembly, the legislature, And thus they have a very close-up view of the reality of politics in California, which the national, the administration has some issues with California. But remember, California is the third largest economy in the world. It's bigger than Japan or China or something, but it's huge, right? I mean, this is a huge economy. And so these words of wisdom, it rings true today because we have a selfish, a self-centered political and cultural view that's driving the thoughts, words, and actions that dehumanize, they demonize, they seek to exclude and hate the other, whether we define them as immigrants or lawful permanent residents or visa holders or visitors or naturalized or born in the United States, naturalized citizens. So as Buddhists, we aspire to alleviate suffering for all people without judgment or discrimination. As Shin Buddhists, as Shudo Shinshu Buddhists, we aspire to awaken our heart of compassion in the eyes of wisdom, to do what we can do to bring true peace to all people. But as just ordinary human beings, right, you can ask yourself, but what can I do? I'm just one person. I'm just one person. Let's see, maybe let's move to the next slide, please. So here's the advice of the Dalai Lama. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. The words of His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet. So I'm just going to offer up some ideas for 5 ways that you can be kind today. How can we actually practice kindness? It helps to pick a target. So, for example, today you could choose to be kind to Kuhina. Right? So you could visit our seniors and elders in senior facilities or at home. You could look after the seniors in your neighborhood. There's always that nice old lady who's really slowing down, and somebody should be worrying about her. Knock on her door every once in a while, make sure she's okay. Reach out to your eldest relatives and just check in and see how we're doing. You can be kind to kids. Right? You can smile and laugh. You can set the example, like in the book. Right? That we set the example. Kids are always looking at us. You can show kids how to do the right thing. You don't have to scold them and tell them, don't do that. Show them how to do the right thing. So compliments work better than scolding. Be kind to others. Right? As Buddhists, our thoughts and words and actions determine our karma, our actions, the consequences of our actions. So if you think kindly of others, it's easy to get mad at the person who cut you off on the highway. But maybe they're rushing to the hospital for some reason. Right? Just think kindly of them. Give them a break. Speak kindly. It's easy to get irritated and angry when things don't go the way we want. It's much harder to be compassionate and have sympathy for the person who's trying to help you. You can focus on your family, focus on your friends, focus on your communities. You don't have to go out there and say, change politics. Although if you're paying attention, did you know that the Johnson Amendment has now been revoked? Of course, nobody knows what that is. It's an Internal Revenue Service rule, right, which says nonprofit organizations cannot endorse political candidates. The IRS has changed its policy, and now it's okay. Right, so a nonprofit organization can endorse political candidates. Traditionally, that has meant the minister shouldn't be endorsing political candidates from the pulpit. But believe it or not, there's actually a law. There was actually an amendment to the laws which says if a nonprofit organization endorses a political candidate, they can lose their nonprofit status. The IRS has reversed that. So suddenly it's okay. Not that it's going to make that much of a difference because people who want to endorse political candidates do it anyway. But it's just, again, one of these changes. So we could think about that stuff. Oh, that's outrageous. Or we can help the nice old lady across the street. We can go give her a papaya from the tree. We can just, hey, no, don't worry, I'll take care. Let me get your mail for you, or let me get the newspaper for you. The small acts of kindness will make the biggest difference. And you don't have to give money, right? It's your attention. It's paying attention to people. It's giving your time, your energy. You don't have to, be contributing millions and millions of dollars. Just do what you can. And also, finally, to be kind to yourself. Do what you can do. Do your best, but don't beat yourself up. I mean, there's no reason to beat yourself up if you can't change the world all in one shot. But the important thing is to try. And so, be kind whenever possible, and it is always possible. It's a choice. I think you'll find that you can choose to be kind, and it's really hard. I failed it half the time anyway. But we have to try. We have to try. So, how do you do this? You pick one and do it. So today, pick one of these things, right? Be kind to kupuna, be kind to kids, be kind to others, be kind to yourself. Pick one, just do it. Tomorrow, pick two, just do it. After that, pick three, and then pick four. I'll just keep doing it that way. And I think you will find that it makes a difference. It makes a difference. So that and figuring out why the technology is not working every Sunday, we'll get there eventually. But thank you very much for listening, and may your day be filled with aloha. Let's see if this is going to Okay, come on. I forgot what we usually do after that. It's not working, so we'll go. Mine's working. Okay. So anyway, Metta Sutta.
We had it all memorized already. Yeah. Okay. Let's all chant the Metta Sutta, the Loving Kindness Sutra. Okay, ready? All things be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Please rise if you're able, and let's sing the Ondokutsu, which will be followed by the Jujutsu. Please be seated. Okay, we have quiet meditation at this time.
Yep. We'll have to go back to pieces of paper.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining the service.
Yes, thank you for joining the service, and we have announcements.
Okay, so congratulations, you've just attended the last Sunday service for the summer. Because next Sunday is temple cleanup, so please come to help us clean up the temple and the grounds. There will be no service, and then July 25, 26, of course, is a Bon. So the 27th Sunday, we'll take a day off, so a day of rest after the Bon dance. And it stops moving, come on. Okay, Mimi, go to the next slide. This is. So don't forget about the Bon dance, which will be on the 25th and 26th. The service is going to be at 5 o'clock. Food and games start at 6, and the Bon dance will start at 7. Next slide. Which should be, that's right, so August, there are no Sunday services in August. However, I'm going to be doing a couple things where, for example, if you'd like to learn how to ring the concho to help out, how to set up for services, and maybe start some chanting and stuff. Just basic ritual and skills. Hopefully, one time for kids. My grandkids are coming, so Melody and Cadence will be coming in August. So hopefully, we have a play day or something set up, something like that. But otherwise, that should do it. And then August 10th, Sunday, is going to be the Maui Wildfire Recovery Event. So you don't want to miss out. Please sign up today. We need to give them a head count for food and stuff like that. So there'll be a short service with a guest speaker. It's actually the principal of Lahaina Luna High School. It's going to be talking about recovery and resilience. And then we have a catered lunch. And there's also going to be entertainment by the Arlie Asyu Band, which should be fun. It sounds actually like the bishop kind of wants music while people are getting their food too. I got that impression at the last meeting. So Floyd, I might be asking a favor and ask you to entertain before the entertainment. But we'll see how that goes.
I don't know. I'm going to talk to the bishop and see how he actually wants to do that. And that should be it. So, very good. So thank you very much. And are there any other announcements? Nope. We'll see you up in the social hall. Thank you. I wonder why I keep